I am Priya Mishra and I welcome you to this week's immigration show. First in the show, we'll give you the visa bulletin for May 2011. After that, Mr. Suresh Dalal will answer your questions. As you know, Mr. Dalal is a member of New Jersey Bar and has been practicing in our state for over 30 years. Welcome, Mr. Dalal.
Thank you.
Please give us the visa bulletin.
First, I talked about the family category, and then I talked about the employment category. First category is the citizen children over 21. It is May 1st, 2004. F2A, the permanent resident spouse and children under 21, 8 June 2007. F2B category is the permanent resident children over 21, the April 15, 2003, there is no movement. The F3 is category for the permanent, the citizen children, married children, is May 1st, 2001, there was movement of about 2.5 months. And fourth category, the brother and sister of citizen, is 8 March 2000, it moved about 1 month. Employment category, first category is current. Second category is men who are masters and PhD. The priority date is July 1, 2006. Third category is the skilled worker category. The current date is 15 April 2002. Another worker category is 15 April 2002. And all other categories are current.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any news happening with immigration?
Nothing much, you know.
Okay, I actually have a piece of news that Mahendra Patel sent us an article from India Abroad.
Yeah.
And we talked about this last time we were shooting. That IRS is targeting Indians on income from foreign land and property and accounts.
Yeah, you know what at present what they are doing it? They are targeting HSB Bank. People who have account in HSB Bank and who have sent the money to India. They are targeting. I think slowly they are going to spread the net to all other banks who have an office in the United States and their branches overseas, and they will ask if any money was sent from here to India or not. We are doing a special program on this issue. They are going to call an expert. They are also trying to get somebody from IRS, if they can get one, and there will be a program, I don't know, it may be 30 minutes or more, but Rohit Vyas is going to do that program. So watch TV Asia and you will hear more about this one, because instead of I'm discussing, I would ask the expert to discuss this issue. Then we can, if you have any other question, we can reply you afterwards.
Absolutely. So okay. Mahendra Bhai, please look out for that episode with Rohit. It will be a special and it will be well advertised on TV Asia for all our viewers. Alright, getting started with our letters for today. First letter is from Daksha Shah. She says, I have been watching your show on TV Asia and really appreciate your effort to help the people of our community who need to resolve their immigration issues. I got my green card on 9th August 2004. After staying in USA for less than 1 year, about 11 months, I went back to India and stayed in India for 2 years and 1 month with re-entry permit. On 14th August 2007, I came back to USA with re-entry permit. From August 14th, I am continuously residing in USA till date. My questions are under, first is, am I eligible to apply for citizenship after 4 years and 1 day from the date I re-entered to USA? I came to know that because I did not stay for 1 year or more, for the first time, I have to wait for 5 years to become eligible for citizenship. Is this true? Please let me know whether I need 4 years and 1 day or 5 years to be eligible for citizenship. I shall thank you for your reply as soon as possible.
As far as I know, there is any requirement that you have to stay for 1 year. Probably you must have stayed sometime here, then instead of 5 years, you can do it 4 years and 1 day. But this is the one, I have not checked up thoroughly, but as far as I know, there is no requirement that you have to stay for 1 year. If there is any correction is there, I will probably broadcast in next episode, okay? Mm-hmm. But as far as I know, it's only 4 years and 1 day. If you have stayed previously in this country, there is no requirement that you have to stay 1 year before you can qualify for 4 years and 1 day, okay?
Okay, great. So, Daksha, I hope this answers your question, but if there is a change, we'll definitely let you know. Next question is from Raj. He says, I have been watching your show on TV Asia and really appreciate your efforts to help out the people of our community who need help in resolving their immigration issues. I and my wife came to USA on green card at the age of 60 years and doing job and paying taxes jointly. We shall be US citizens in about 1 year, but that time work credit earned by me and my wife will be 24 and 20. Since we are not keeping good health and we want to leave the job after becoming a citizen and we shall complete 65 years of age, our work credits are not 40, can we still get Social Security? Can work credits of husband and wife be combined? And if so, if it is more than 40, can we get Social Security together? Can you suggest any other source of income to survive in this country?
Generally when you can work 40 quarters is required in order to get a Social Security. But you get a supplementary Social Security, SSI. That is, you can get it if you have no income in this country. And then you can get Medicaid and you get certain amount of money. I think generally you get about $400-500 per month for each couple. So you get about $1,000. And if you're, and my advice is, you can complete your 40 quarters by doing a babysitting work, self-employed. And then do it then you can get both Medicare and Medicare because you don't have enough income. So if you have less than 6,000, you can qualify for Medicaid and you can get SSI, Supplementary Social Security.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm noticing that nowadays we're getting not only letters about immigration, but as life itself.
Yeah, I know.
So
generally they think they are connected with the immigration, but I tell you, whatever the Sindhi one, you can still get it. There are people in this country who have no income, no income whatsoever. They came from India. They are citizens of this country, so they are under the law. They are get medical help. They get Medicaid instead of Medicare. There are two different Medicare and Medicaid. Medicaid is paid to people who don't have the enough income and who doesn't have their 40 quarters income.
Right.
And they get some kind of help from the government through the Social Security office that we call a supplementary Social Security. Okay.
This is when your experience in this country really comes in handy, and you
yeah, sure.
all the experience of 30 years of dealing with different kinds of people.
Different kind of, and some people ask the questions and we know it, and I'm also myself a senior citizen, so I know. Okay.
Right. It's great to have your experience on our show. But with that, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back after these messages.
ગતવાર સમાચાર આપતું ગુજરાતનું ગૌરવ દિવ્ય ભાસ્કર અને હા લવાજંબીનું છું 1 વર્ષનું $39 તરત જ સંપર્ક કરો 1866 જય હિન્દ.
Why invest internationally? Diversification.
The application which was filed May 1st, 2004.
In Welcome back. You're watching the Immigration Show on TV Asia. Our next letter is from our very long-time viewer, Ramesh Gangaramani. He says, my son's number became current while he was here on visitor visa. We therefore filed for adjustment of status, work permit, and AP. He received EAD, AP in January 2011. Unfortunately, the dates retrogressed before the I-485 interview. The interview went off well, and the officer told us he will process the papers as usual, but they will go to NVC records and will be retrieved only after the date becomes current. He told us to check if we do not hear within 120 days or earlier if the date becomes current. The date hasn't moved forward since then. I have the following questions. First is there any way of finding out if the interviewing officer cleared the papers from his side? Second question is, what happens to the I-130 and I-485 applications in case of my son if my son gets married? Though he does not have immediate plans of marriage, but situation may arise in future. And then he lists some additional information like I-130 priority date is 25th October 2005. Arrival on visitor visa is 12th May 2010. Filed I-485 on 26th October 2010. Interview on 22nd February 2011.
Okay. At present, they are processing the application which was filed May 1st, 2004. So I think the application was filed in 2005. So it is there, they have to wait for 1 year. What happens, this is my understanding, the file doesn't go to National Visa Center back. They go to this file goes back to the Missouri. There is a center, special center.
Okay.
They are going to keep all the records, and as soon as the visa date becomes current, you will be informed by them, and probably you will get your green card at that time. There won't be another interview. There won't be any other question. You don't have to worry whether the case has been approved or not. If there was anything there, they would have given you some RFE to come back to the immigration. But as the immigration officer has not given you any letter, it means that he has completed his process, part of process, and the papers are now in archives. And as soon as the date becomes current, it will be taken out from archives and they will post you a green card. Now, if he becomes married, that becomes a very interesting question, because his status would be changed, and he will be, on instead of unmarried child of a citizen, he become a married child of a citizen, and then he has to look up the date under the F3. And I would ask you, this is a very interesting question you have raised. I would ask him not to get married.
Right.
Otherwise you are going to lose the priority date which he has acquired. Okay? But the only question is, his father is a citizen, you know.
Right.
But what happened in a case of a green card? Person is on a green card and you file a petition and you become a citizen, then he marries. He generally acquires the old priority date. But
Right.
what happened in the case of a citizen? There is already old priority. There is nothing as question of acquiring. If you are going, then you jump from first to second, third category. In the other cases, things are different. So there is a distinction between green card holder and citizen.
Right. But with his son, he doesn't have to go back to India for...
No.
Because he has the EAD, he can stay here.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So it doesn't matter how long the actual process takes for
The
him.
only question of marriage.
Marriage question is there. Okay. Next letter is from Ishika Arora. He says, I recently got married in January and applied for my husband for I-130 visa. I received the receipt from USCIS on March 9th. I'm still waiting on the approval which I haven't received till date. Please guide me how long this process is going to take. Thank you for taking time. I look forward to watching your answer on TV Asia.
You know what a very interesting question is? We have another similar letter on this line. The question is, when you file the papers, it takes about 4 to 5 months. And if you look up the website of immigration department, they will tell you how long it will take to process. Generally, when you file I-130 and if your spouse is in India, it takes about 10 to 12 months before he can come here. So you have to wait 10 and 12 months. After 5-6 months, visa petition will be approved if you are a citizen. Then the file goes to National Visa Center. They will send all the paperwork and everything. It takes about a year before person can come here. So you have to wait and watch. And sometime, even though the visa date is mentioned, they are processing. If you look up suppose the file is in Vermont Service Center, and the Vermont Service Center have a bulletin, they will inform you they are processing the I-130 file on this particular date. And if you look up, if you miss that date, if you look up and they said why my file has not been considered, you can write them a letter. But then in my question, generally, they are quick, they will get an answer in 4 to 5 months.
Okay, so that's when the approval process.
Yeah, then
that's how long the
then go to
approval
National Visa Center. It takes further 4 or 5 months, so it takes about a year.
About a year. Okay. So Ishika, I hope that answers your question. Our next question is from Mitesh Thakkar. He says, I am a US citizen, live in Chicago. I have recently gotten married in India and have filed for my wife. I completed I-130 along with G325A and it currently under processing in initial review. I have been more than 4 months now since I petitioned. They are not updating any info and I've tried calling them to get the info, but I am in the same place. Now my friends and other people have been saying that if I am a US citizen, I should be able to bring her here around 4 to 5 months, and USCIS says that my petition approval will take about 5 months. And then it will be sent to NVC and they will process the petition and put it for F2 category and will be sent to Bombay. I'm very confused. What should I do as I'm really desperate to get her here?
Formerly, desperate people had a choice. They had to go to India. wait in line for 3 months, get your wife file I-130, and that cases the wife used to come in 6 months' time. Now I think they have stopped their process, so you have to wait. Generally, I have already answered this question. If you're listening my program, you will say that this takes not more 6 months as long, it takes about a year.
Just the approval itself takes about 4 to
6
5
months, and then
right?
it will take, all the process will take about 1 year.
Okay.
If it goes over more than 1 year, then you should worry. Okay.
All right. With that, let's take a quick short break. We'll be right back after these messages.
Let tantalizing tastes take you to exotic places. The Jewel of India, authentic Indian cuisine presented for the modern tastes of today with relaxing personalized service. And for only $9.99, you'll love the healthful and sumptuous lunch buffet. Let us make your next birthday, corporate, or special event a success, here or at your location. And liven the mood in our elegant and modern bar. Enjoy the Jewel of India, the special occasion destination. $9.99 Route 1 South in North Brunswick at the Ramada Inn.
Mantasant presents Suresh Dalal in Kishan versus Kanhaiya live across USA.
जानते हो लोग भगवान में क्यों मानते हैं? क्योंकि कुछ सवालों के जवाब तो गूगल सर्च में भी नहीं मिलते। यहाँ मेरे पास कुछ ऐसे सवाल है जिसके जवाब भगवान के पास भी नहीं। बोलो किशन कन्हैया लाल की जय मत बोलना। बोलो किशन लाल मेहता की जय।
जश्न बहारा है आओ कुछ फूल खिलाएं।
Welcome back. You're watching the Immigration Show on TV Asia. Our next letter is from Sanjay Desai, and he writes to us from Monroe, North Carolina. He says, I really appreciate if you could give me advice or guideline about my confusion. I came to USA on B1, B2 visa in October 2000 with my wife, son, and daughter. Before my B1, B2 visa expired, I got H1B visa and H4 visa for family. It has been renewed 4 times and it's valid until 4/14/2013. I-140 is approved. Applied I-485 in August 2004 under EB3 category, which is still pending in TCS. I still work with the same company. I have done medical and code 1 and 3 fingerprinting twice. I got my social security statement with 40 credits. My family EAD is valid until August 2011. My sister, who is also a US citizen, applied for me I-130 in 2001, which approved on 8th July 2009, and now the date is current. So here's my question. First, can I interfile I-485 EB3 to FB4? If I can, is it risky and what is the procedure? I need to inform TCS, local office in Charlotte, or NVC. What should I write in the letter? Second question is, if it is not possible, can I apply I-485 separately with all family members or one 485 including my family members? Do I need to pay $1,010 or less? Where do I file new 485? To TCS or local office or NVC? Do we need to do fingerprinting and medical again? If yes, then what about the old fingerprinting and medical with EB3? In new 485 form, I-94 number, I need to use my latest valid H1B or when I came in 2001 on B1, B2. Third question is, do I need my sister to file I-864 or can I use myself as a sponsor? My sister does not have enough income, so can her son co-sponsor for us? For co-sponsor, do we need the same 864 form or 864A? How long will it take to get approval? Fourth, my son's date of birth is 12/30/87. He's studying pharmacy in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and my daughter's date of birth is 1/27/91, studying UNCC. Can my kids change their status with me and get green card with me and my wife? Lot of questions.
Listen to me. If he comes into my office, I would have a consultation for an hour, gone through each and every point with him. But he's talking on TV, so I can't be that long. I can't treat him as my individual customer, but I'll try my best to give an answer, whatever the best answer I have. And of my 35 years experience, I have done this type of cases. Generally, we advise on TV that when you have two options, you always use two options. I have checked up the date which he said his sister has filed I-130 for him, but that one is in 2001,
2000.
and now we are processing 2000. So still that is not current. So when it becomes current, you file I-130, you file 485, you have to remain in status. At that time you file it, 485, and probably, whether you file 485, generally you file 485 and approval of I-130 at the remote in Chicago. There is a remote, freeze paving. There is their instruction. You will see where you have to file. You don't have to file anywhere. You have to file there. When you file there, now the question would be whether there would be a same A number or there would be a different A number. If there is a different A number, they won't have a file with them, so they don't know whether your fingerprint is current. Generally, biometric is good for 15 months and medical examination is good for 1 year. So you have to check up whether medical examination is good or not, or bad. Then you file it and you have to do the biometrics and you have to do the medical examination, because that may be two different files. So your date is not going to reach within 1 year, so you have to do everything again. So file, and now what you select which you are going to get first. If you get your sister, process with that application and abandon another one. So you are going to decide which is how they are moving. Is that I-1? He has got, I think, third preference, the labor certification in 2004. And I don't think in 2 years' time he's going to get the green card through that one, because it's going to take more time. So I think the best shot for you, is that you have to wait till your I-136 become current and you're going to get green card through that one. Still you keep us informed and we'll tell you, because I think I practically answer all your questions. Now the question about your children. You know what happened about your children? When they become 23, I don't know how long I-130 has taken to approve. Suppose if it has taken more than 3 years, then you are still under this status. If it's taken less, then your children will be out.
Right.
Same thing would have applied in other cases. Your I-140 has been approved and how long it has been approved. So you have to watch that one also, whether you can protect it under the Child Protection Act. So you have to watch Child Protection Act, you have to watch the visa number, you have to watch everything. If you are capable of doing this one, do yourself. Otherwise, engage the best lawyers to guide you in this matter.
Right, but the one question he had is, can he interfile the I-485 for EB3 to F? That's not possible, right?
But you have to file a separate.
Different. Right. Okay, I think that answers all his questions. Sanjay bhai, if you have more questions about this situation, you can write to us in detail. Please let us know your sister's file, when it was filed, when it was approved, because that really affects the approval of your kids in the Child Protection Act. Okay, next letter is from Mr. J. He says, my wife and I have green card from 2006, but we have not stayed here for 5 years. Now we want to go back to India, but can we apply re-entry permit for the third time? We have already applied 2 times in a row, about 2 years each. My second question is whether we can apply for citizenship since our green card has completed 5 years.
The question is, if you are not stayed 5 years, for filing a citizenship, you have to stay 6 months in this country. You say total time you have to stay in 5 years, 2.5 years. Any time you shouldn't stay more than 6 months out of the country. If that test is, if you write down in your book, that is like 6 months in the United States, 6 months in India, it can be worked. But I had a very interesting question. I'm recently teaching citizenship classes in a Dwarkadhish temple. I go every 15 days, try to help the senior citizen. At that time, the woman was done very cleverly. She used to stay 6 months here and 6 months in India. And after 2 or 5 years, she completed, she went for an interview here in Newark. I don't know, the immigration officer picked up the question, said, whether you abandon the residence in the United States. I don't agree with him, but then you have to go in litigation. He asked him whether you are paying taxes here in this country, whether you have any telephone bill you are paying here, whether you have, how many relations you have here, what type of activity you are doing here, whether you are working or not, and all these questions are asked to prove whether you have lost the domicile in this country. And my question, in my opinion, is completely wrong, because the person has complied with the law. He said in 6 months here, 6 months in India. He said he's done 6 months and 10 days here and so 5 months in India. She have a good reason because husband's in India. So that question was asked. So she has enough documentation to prove. But that question can arise. If people try to keep them, when we are advising them, say 6 months in India, the immigration officer can come out with this new idea, whether you are paying taxes, who is your...
are you supporting yourself?
Also, you're supporting yourself, or you have been supported by somebody else, whether you got a library card, whether you got all this thing to prove that in connection with this country. And that is the only question they are asked. Whether technically the immigration officer is right, I don't know. In my opinion, he is wrong, but you have to challenge that in the court, and that takes a lot of time and energy. So I advise her to comply with the law and do this one. But this is the law.
But that's very nice of you to go and help in Dwarkadish temple.
Oh yes, they requested me. I said I can't come every week. They have classes. They are running citizenship classes. And there is another center in Israel also. They are running the classes. So the Dwarkadish temple has started. So every 15 days I go there, and there are other person also. I'm not alone. He is teaching them regularly. But my purpose is going there and to prepare them how to face the immigration officer and how to answer the questions, because some of the old ladies have no contact with the outside world.
Right.
They don't listen to TV.
And they get very nervous.
Oh, they get very nervous.
Absolutely. And it's a big help for them.
We will tell them how to face this problem, and the person who are going to appear before interview, I take this time.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. With that, we come to an end to our show. Before we end, here's a quick look at the priority date for May 2011 once again. Here's our address where you can send us your questions and or suggestions for the Immigration Show on TV Asia. Our address is 76 National Road, Edison, New Jersey 08817. Our fax number is 732-650-1112. Our email address is immigration@tvasiausa.com. Please remember, we do not respond to any letters by mail, by email, by fax, or by phone. When writing to us, please let us know which city and state and how you're watching TV Asia. Dish or cable. If cable, please let us know the name of the company and what channel number you're watching us on. Please allow at least 4 to 6 weeks for us to respond to your letters. Once again, I am Priya Mishra, and thank you for joining us here today, and thank you, Mr. Dalal.